Tesla is not slowing down, it's transitioning. Hi, this is Ken. If you look at Tesla only as an EV manufacturer, it absolutely feels like growth is stalling. But if you look at Tesla as an AI and autonomy company, something very different is happening right now. And in this video, I want to show you why the current bad news might actually be the clearest signal yet that Tesla is entering its next phase. Here's what you'll get by watching until the end. You'll understand why Tesla intentionally lowered expectations instead of defending short-term growth. You'll see how recent headlines connect into a single strategic story. And most importantly, you'll learn how long-term investors should reframe Tesla beyond quarterly delivery numbers. If you're a Tesla investor in the US, UK, or Canada, this perspective matters more than any single earnings report. So let's quickly summarize what's been happening. Over the year-end period, the headlines looked rough. Tesla's Q4 delivery expectations point to a year-over-year decline. Full-year deliveries in 2025 may also come in lower than the prior year. And unusually, Tesla itself published analyst consensus estimates showing that slowdown. On the surface, this looks like confirmation that Tesla is losing momentum, but at the exact same time, completely opposite signals appeared. Tesla crossed 9 million vehicles in cumulative production. Model Y became the world's best-selling car for the third year in a row, including gas vehicles. FSD completed a zero-intervention coast-to-coast drive in the US. Cybercab production was quietly confirmed in an official video, and Tesla Semi entered real-world operations with DHL. These don't look like signals of a company collapsing. They look disconnected, confusing, and even contradictory. And that's exactly why many investors are misreading this moment. Let's start with the most misunderstood decision: Tesla publishing a delivery consensus that shows a decline. Companies almost never do this. They may give guidance or they may stay silent, but publishing analyst averages yourself, especially when they're negative, is extremely rare. This wasn't Tesla admitting failure. This was Tesla resetting expectations. For years, Tesla has been priced on the assumption that it would always beat expectations. That worked during the hyper-growth phase, but it also created a fragile relationship with the market. Any miss, even a small one, triggered aggressive sell-offs. What Tesla is doing now is choosing credibility over short-term stock support. They knew deliveries would slow as competition increased, subsidies changed, and prices were adjusted. Instead of letting the market be surprised, they pulled expectations forward. This is not how a desperate company behaves. It's how a company preparing for a longer, more complex transition behaves. And this is where the second piece comes in, the 9 million vehicles milestone. Tesla took more than 16 years to produce its first million cars, but after that, production accelerated dramatically. 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, and now 9 million. And that 9th millionth vehicle was a Model Y built in Shanghai. That detail matters. Model Y is no longer a growth experiment. It's a mature, globally optimized platform. 3 years in a row as the world's best-selling car doesn't signal decline. It signals saturation. And saturation is not failure. It's completion. This is the point many investors struggle with. When a product reaches maturity, growth naturally slows. Not because demand disappears, but because the market is largely served. Model 3 and Model Y are no longer new. They're efficient, refined, and everywhere. And historically, this is exactly when companies shift their growth engine, not by selling more of the same product, but by redefining what the product is for. This brings us to Tesla's strategic context. Tesla is quietly shifting from maximizing unit sales to building networks. Vehicles are no longer just things you sell once, they are nodes in a system. FSD, Robotaxi, Cybercab, and Tesla Semi are not separate stories. They are pieces of the same transition, from selling cars to operating mobility and logistics platforms. And once you see Tesla through that lens, the recent slowdown starts to look very different. Now, let's talk about what this transition means for investors, because this is where the real disconnect happens. Many investors still judge Tesla the same way they did 5 years ago: quarterly deliveries up or down, year-over-year growth percentages, margins tied directly to vehicle sales. But Wall Street itself is already moving away from that framework. Analyst consensus doesn't assume that Model Y suddenly explodes in volume again. Instead, forecasts show deliveries re-accelerating gradually after 2026, reaching well over 3 million units by the end of the decade. And here's the key point: that growth is not driven by selling more cars to individuals. It's driven by how those vehicles are used. This leads to an unexpected insight that many people still miss. For Tesla, unit sales are becoming less important than utilization. A privately owned car might be used a few dozen times per year. A robotaxi can be used all day, every day. That single shift completely breaks the old valuation logic. When Cybercab enters the fleet, selling one vehicle is no longer the right way to think about revenue. That vehicle becomes a long-term cash-generating asset, and that's why Tesla designed Cybercab without a steering wheel or pedals. This isn't a consumer product, it's infrastructure. Most automakers are still selling objects. Tesla is building a system. The same logic applies to Tesla Semi. DHL isn't testing a concept. They're deploying trucks in real logistics operations. In logistics, there's no room for hype. If it doesn't reduce costs, increase reliability, or improve efficiency, it doesn't scale. Tesla Semi passed that test. And just like Cybercab, Semi is not a one-time sale. It's a platform, software updates, charging ecosystems, automation, and eventually autonomous freight. This is how Tesla quietly expands beyond passenger vehicles without launching dozens of new consumer models. So what does the future look like from here? In the near term, volatility remains. Tesla is no longer a stock where growth shows up cleanly every quarter. That phase is over. Instead, we're in the investment phase where belief matters more than numbers. Do you believe autonomy scales? Do you believe regulation can adapt? Do you believe society will accept AI-driven mobility? If the answer is yes, then this transition period is not a risk, it's the opportunity. Because once Cybercab networks go live and autonomous logistics begin to scale, the valuation framework will change again, very quickly. And by then, the stock will not be waiting for confirmation. So, let me leave you with this final takeaway. Tesla is not slowing down. The measuring stick is changing. As an EV manufacturer, Tesla is entering maturity. As an AI and autonomy platform, Tesla is just getting started. Both of those things are happening at the same time. And that's why this moment feels confusing, noisy, and emotionally charged in the market. But years from now, this period may be remembered as the quiet transition phase, not the decline. If this perspective helped you see Tesla more clearly, feel free to like the video. And if you want calm, long-term focused analysis instead of headline reactions, consider subscribing. I'll keep tracking this transition with you step by step. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.